Hi guys, I just wanted to do a little introductory video to the online substance abuse. I started teaching it last spring. I built the course, and so now we've taught it probably 5 or 6 times on campus, and it's worked out really well. I just revamped it a little bit for the mini session, and so you're going to get to see some different assignments than what they've been doing in the past. Basically, I just want to point out a couple things. One, make sure you need the book, okay? You have to have the book. The name of the book is in your syllabus, and I'm also going to post a picture of it. You can't get it online unless you go and you pay for like an online version, but they have them in the bookstore, or you could order on Amazon or whatever it is you need to do. Just make sure you have the book or you will not be as successful. There are slides, there are lectures, but when it comes to doing the test and answering certain questions throughout the semester, you're really going to need the book if you want to get the best grade that you can get in the class. So definitely get the book. Okay, the second thing that's probably just as important is for communication purposes, I use the Remind app. There is a link in your course home in Canvas that tells you how to get the Remind app. If you already have the app, all you have to do is enter the new code that is on that PDF file that's uploaded. It says Remind app instructions. If you don't have the app and you have a smartphone, you can download the app. It's a little blue square with a white looking brain. And then you put in the code and you'll automatically be enrolled in communicating with me. If you don't have a smartphone, you can also just use text messages, and the paper explains how to do that. Again, you text the code, and any reminders that I send out or anything like that, they'll come straight to your phone. The nice thing about Remind is anytime I want to remind you of something, I want to tell you you didn't do something correctly, ask you a question about something, I can text it right to your phone without knowing your phone number, and vice versa. So if you have a question, you're working on an assignment, it's due in a couple hours, you're not sure about maybe how to cite something, or if your answers, if you have a question about how you're answering it, you shoot a message to me, I get it on my phone pretty much immediately, and as long as I'm able to get it, I can respond pretty much immediately. So for the most part, those questions are getting answered like this, and it's worked really, really nicely in my classes for those people that have utilized it. I'm trying to get everybody to use it because I'll send out reminders about assignments that are due, about tests, about anything that's going on, and it'll be the best way to communicate with me because obviously I don't always have my computer. Sometimes, like if the school system goes down somewhat often where you can't access email or you can't access Canvas or this or that, if you have the Remind app, we can communicate that way. And sometimes if there's an issue, you can take a picture and upload it, or there's all these different cool things about having that. So please, please, please go in and enroll in that immediately. You can do it now. Like I said, the code is on the paper that is uploaded in the course home in your Canvas. Okay, so book, Remind app. Then just to give you a brief summary of what we're going to talk about, you guys are going to go through all the way from the history of drugs, how did they start, how did we start regulating them, what have we prohibited, did it work, did it not work, what's our stance now, what's illegal, what schedule are these different drugs on, meaning like how dangerous are they considered. You're going to learn about all the different categories, so stimulants, depressants, hallucinogens, over-the-counter we're going to talk about prescription drugs, we're going to talk about performance-enhancing drugs, all those different categories, and knowing, kind of what they do in your body. So you're going to talk a little bit about the brain and neurotransmitters and why do drugs even have the effect that they have on us, like what's going on inside to make us have hallucinations or make us, more hyper and excited or make us calm down. So you're going to be learning about all that kind of stuff, and basically the whole semester is already set up so you can go in and kind of see what's going on, but each week certain things will open on that Saturday or Sunday starting the week, and then they'll always close Sunday night at the end of the week at midnight. And basically I kind of break it up. So if you have a discussion, your initial post is usually due Tuesday, and then I usually give you the rest of the week until Sunday to make your responses. If you have like a video or a question, or you're researching an article or something like that, like this, an actual assignment, those are usually going to be due Thursday at midnight. And then anytime you have a test, that's going to be due Sunday night at midnight. So you'll have the whole week to do the test. Keep in mind a couple things. Anything you hand in that's typed and uploaded is going to go through a plagiarism detection program. So it will tell me how much of what you have is copied. And I tell you that it needs to be under 25%, because there's a little bit of wiggle room, like if you've copied the question before you answered it, or if you're pulling information but you're not really rewording it quite correctly, I give a little bit of leeway, but anything over 25% is going to be penalized the first time. And then after that, you can get written up and get a 0, because don't forget, you can get kicked out of college for plagiarizing. So make sure, even if you are reading it somewhere and transferring it onto your own paper, that's copying, unless you reword it and basically use your own terminology and ideas. If you have to use an exact statement, don't forget, cite it properly. And if you don't know how to do citations, that's something you either need to come and see me and go to the library. It's expected that you cite your material, anything you get, properly. So when I say cite an article outside of your book, that means you need to cite it properly. So if it's a website, it doesn't mean copy and paste that link to the website. It means if you need to, Google how to cite a website, and it'll tell you exactly what to put. Same thing with articles. Don't just give me the name of the article or a link to the article. You have to do, the author and the year and the title and all of the things that are included in a correct citation. So make sure you're being careful about that. In regards to the tests, always keep in mind you have 2 hours. If you have not looked at the information before you go to take the test, you will not finish in time. Okay, that's just how it is. You have to have an idea where things are, terms, information, because if you just have to sit there and flip through and you have no idea, you're going to run out of time. Keep in mind there's always at least 4 or 5 essay questions at the end of the test, and that you are expected to answer them in paragraph form, meaning you're going to need a little bit more time. And if you want full credit on the essay questions, you also have to include an outside source. So give yourself plenty of time for those last essay questions. Do not leave them blank, because they are worth more than the other questions. So a lot of people will do all their multiple choice true and false questions, and then they'll get to the end and they just won't do them. Well, each of those is worth 5 points, or something like that, compared to maybe 2 points for the other questions. So you're losing a lot of points just by not taking the time to answer those. When you do the test, like I said, it's 2 hours. You cannot start and stop and start and stop. Once you start, you got to finish it. Also, once you pass a question, you can't go back. So keep all of those things in mind as you're doing your test to make sure that you can be successful on those tests. You can use your notes, you can use your book, you can use PowerPoints, and like I said, on the essays, you're going to want to find an outside source. So it shouldn't be difficult if you just prepare yourself properly. Other than that, just keep in mind you're expected to do all of your reading on your own. There are the lectures. A lot of the lecture is me briefly discussing what's in the chapter and trying to explain a few things, but you're not really probably going to be able to do your assignments just based on that. So make sure you're reading in your book, make sure you're reading through the PowerPoints, and a lot of the assignments are going to be watching things and giving me information that you're learning from those. So always read the assignment first, because it might say, watch this video and then give me 10 bullet points that you learned. Well, if you don't read that assignment, you're going to watch the video and then you're going to realize you should have been writing stuff down. So keep all those things in mind. you have any questions, I'm in the academic building. My office is 1040, and I'm always on campus. And then, like I said, as soon as you download that Remind app, you can shoot me messages through there anytime you have a question about anything. I hope you guys are ready to have a good semester. I'm excited. I like this class a lot. You get to learn some interesting information. Almost everybody at the end says they feel like they learned a lot and it was interesting. So a lot of people enjoy taking it, even though it's online, because I kind of put a lot of stuff out there for you guys to read and watch. And so I hope you enjoy it. And again, if you have any questions, let me know.